A generator is a sacral being, which means there's a defined energy in this sacral center, otherwise known as the energy resource. And the response is it comes from down here. And generators ideally respond to yes or no questions. This is very specifically not yes or no. For generators, this sacral energy is pre-verbal. A verbal response comes from the mind, it goes through the verbal system in our brain. And that's what we're looking for here. It's a kind of a guttural response. And it may be that you've had this trained out of you. There can either be an or an and then means that I don't really have an answer right now. If you are emotional authority, then that sacral response is there, it's present, but in fact, it can't really be trusted because there's another energy that's in your body that is stronger, and that is the emotional authority. That is the emotional wave. And this wave means that if you're at a high wave, your body can really be for everything. But in reality, this is not something that will sustain itself past the current time. So the decision-making strategy for someone who is an emotional generator is waiting to respond, but then to wait for clarity. And that wait for clarity can take, at the very minimum, sleeping overnight. But it can take weeks, months, even years for a really important decision. For you as a emotional authority, probably need to wait more. At the very minimum, before making a decision, sleep on it. At the very minimum. And see how that works for you. I was just talking with a client, a friend, and she's been experimenting with this waiting for clarity. And she, as a manifesting generator, really loves to get into there, to get things started, to respond and go right away. This is her brilliance as a manifesting generator. However, as she has practiced more waiting for clarity, she's noticed that her decisions are better. They're more informed. Previously, she would jump on something and then she would realize that it wasn't the right decision at the time. And so by looking back at the decision to be made, then you can get more clarity. Emotional generator people are the most desirable people wanting your help. So you may think that you need to say yes or no to opportunities right away. And this is not the case. When someone asks you to do something, never say yes right now. Even if your sacral authority says, doesn't matter. It's all about saying, ask me later. Ask me later. And you know what? When someone comes back, you may find that the offer is even better than before. So your strategy is to play hard to get. Play hard to get. Wait for the better offer. And how long should you wait for? Until that wave levels out. Until you don't have so much excitement or depression, up or down, but instead it's fairly neutral. While you're waiting through this emotional wave to go up and down, notice how many ups and how many downs you have. Basically, ahas and ahs that you have throughout that time. And you'll notice that there'll be more ahas than ahs or vice versa. And that means throughout this wave going up and down, that's what your body is saying, that your body is a yes or your body is a no. After you have that, then you're ready to share back to the person that wanted to work with you if you are ready for that. And when you're at a more of a neutral place, that's when you have clarity. And that clarity will likely never be 100% clarity. This is totally normal. For emotional authority, waiting for clarity, it is max about 60%. 60%, yes. When you get that and the emotional is not so strong, that's the place where you're ready to say yes or no.